feral
Oh
cat,
shit.
right?
Yeah.
You breed a feral animal, it takes 4 generations for that to be a domestic cat.
Yeah.
Uh, Same way with like a wild dog. You take in a wild dog, it takes 4 generations for it to be a very domesticated dog. And there's actually scripture that talks about the sins of the fathers will follow the children for 4 generations. Um, I've started to believe that that's crap. That's genetically programmed. You got to
It is.
breed that out.
It is. And
So right here, something like that from a pharmacist standpoint. It takes 5 half-lives to clear drugs out of your system. Five
Is it
half-lives. Yes.
really?
Uh-huh.
wow.
See, there you go.
But then mathematically, you can never clear anything out of your system if you take half-life of something,
Wow.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because half, 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 half.
All right. So it's coming up here, guys.
Yep. I've got
What's
my
this? I have in 3 minutes. Let me move to 30
I've
seconds.
got my scaling strategy reset.
What I'm gonna do some scalping here real quick. If my computer open, and then I'll buy and keep one in or sell whatever.
10 seconds.
Come on, come on.
Little dump right here before the open.
Ding, 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 ding. I took some profit.
Get in on this.
Re-enter, and I
Stop
don't
is
like
actually
it.
the bottom of that candle.
Yeah, I have mine right under the view app. I didn't like it. I'm not liking it.
Yeah, closed it just before it hit me. It came down pretty quick.
Oh, man, sipped me and went back up, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I wanna do that again now. I'm gonna do what I did yesterday, guys, is change to 3 minutes. I did my scalps that I want to. Well, I'm not gonna change as yet because I wanna check this out here. But it's gonna come down some more. Has a flooring here in the bottom, guys. My pass through here. I'm gonna get another one. A lot of buying pressure here, but it's eating it. Oh, shoot. I don't like that. Ate right up. I keep looking at the Brett. Think that Brett's screen is Doyle. I don't know why I do that
Oh yeah.
sometimes. Like, weird. Doyle's not in anything. And then I look to the right and I see it. It's like, ah, okay. I see how it is.
I'm gonna have to get more aggressive with my SIP entries. Oh, that floor got moved down. They jumped out of the way.
Yeah, it did. That's what I said. That's when it's like I didn't like it. I'm waiting for some support here so I can jump back in. I'm gonna move back to 3 minutes. Stand by. I should have sold, huh? Would be a lot easier. Damn, man. That's a bad one, huh?
I'm gonna follow this pretty aggressively. Stops on the top side of the pivot point. Then I'm gonna follow it every other 20-second candle.
You have no divergence yet.
Let's look left and see where support might live.
The
Support's gonna
red,
live
the red trend
at
right there.
16,000.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to get myself out of this shit, huh? How fun. I think we are getting support here on this um, red trend line, which is at 10 minutes. No, 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 30 minutes trend line. Red is 30. That floor is getting built here. How's everybody doing, guys? Anybody? Anybody?
Hmm. Just waiting for it to go up. I showed it from the top, but wish I held it longer. Haha.
Nice.
Nice, nice, nice job.
I was I wanted to show, but I was already in as I manage. I told you guys I was going to manage a trade only 3 minutes, so I'm trying to manage myself out of this one.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. I don't like it. I don't like it though. Only 30 seconds seems like it's a ABCD down. Let's see. I'm liking this 3 minutes candle.
So looking at the 3 minutes, what we're thinking is trying to create looks like a B point here. But then when you look at the 1 minute, you're like, is this trying to create a D leg?
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
But I
Maybe a
mean,
D leg back up to the pivot point up there.
yeah, I mean, could you have the C point on the 1 minute lower than the A though? I guess you could, right?
No.
Because if you look at the 1 minute, if you think that, that
XA.
yeah,
Well, I would X would be up here off the top of my, or A, and then this would be B right here, and then C. What are you referring to?
well, if you look at the 1 minute, you know how it's kind of create that W right now, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas I guess if you call the top of that W as B, and the C point is a little bit lower than
For what? An XABCD or an ABCD?
and XABCD.
So X, A, B, C. C's okay to be lower than A.
All right,
Yeah,
so that's
that's
yeah,
a shark pattern
gotcha,
when it dips down below her. Yeah.
gotcha. Okay.
Think this could be a right shoulder on the 30-second inverse. Not looking very good right now.
How's everybody doing, guys? Oh,
Hanging in there.
I so wanted to be short on this. What do I do for you guys? starting to build a floor here too, guys. Are you in, Greg?
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, I'm in the boat with you.
You're with me like my entrance?
Yeah,
Oh shit. Okay.
that's no biggie.
I didn't want you guys to do that shit.
Tis what it is.
Okay, I'll try to get us out of this shit then. We have a report at 10, right? Oh, we might
Oh
be,
yeah, I forgot about that.
yeah, we might be holding, two things can be sideways here into 10.
Yep.
Or could it be this drop regards to the report, you know? And then retrace it 100%. We'll see. We'll see what happens. There's a big floor here. From 16,000 to 1608. A lot of orders. We have a lot of buyers here because we are pushing up. It's like the red candles. Check out the 3 minutes. We just in last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles. One is red, the rest is green. Yeah, why did I open my mouth? Just
It could have been the spring on the 3 minute.
yeah. On the 30 seconds, very bullish. 3 minutes starting to turn to the upside now. And the 30 seconds can be a D lag forming. We are just crossing the B point. Are you feeling a little better, Greg? A little bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
Hold on tight, brother. Hold on tight. And I am not uh, getting out, okay, in here. Because we came down. I am not getting out.
Yeah. I did drop one of mine for a little loss, just so it's a little. I was almost mirrored yours, so I got uh, 10, 11 points right now to break even.
Okay. That's managing your trade, right?
Or trying to, anyways.
Yeah, just chilling.
Yeah.
That's good. Report in 4 minutes. Uh, pivot point. So expect a little bit of trouble to go through here.
Mm-hmm.
At 50% is also right above it.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so and view apps coming down to it. Uh, so
Actually, going to set my profit target to be between the pivot and 50.
look at you, Smartlet. Um,
That said, I am going to get my SIP as soon as it gets at that freaking pivot point there. That was close enough for me.
yeah. The, I should have had entered more here to bring this down, but I was not comfortable. I was not seeing
Mm.
that we are going. I was thinking this would be a flag to keep on going down, so I was hoping to add 3 more down here and bring this to here. I want to come back up.
Mm.
So that was my plan. But this floor here held pretty well. And we've been touching this red bunch. Check out how this view app dump, man.
Uh, 25 seconds till 10.
Oh, okay. 54. I'm gonna put in this here first one. Decrease.
Port just hit. That's the volatility and jumpiness we're seeing right now.
Is it a high impact report?
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Consumer sentiment fell. It was forecasted to be 72%, and it is 66%. So consumer sentiment was rising and now it's down. And that would be consistent with yesterday's inflation numbers too.
So far, the market don't seem to care much.
Not yet.
Yeah, maybe it was already,
Baked in.
yeah, baked in, or we don't have much people in the market uh, to move, the big money out there, which can
Don't
give
start
me,
saying that because then whammies will show up. Big money, big money, big money. Whammy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and if it show up to
Was
the
that
upside,
the
okay.
noids or the?
Ah, damn, I got sipped in one of my accounts that I was positive already, but dang.
Holy crap.
What?
I thought I was going in with 9 micros and I was 9 minis on that trade.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
My hands my hands shaking.
Doyle needs a shower.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need a break, need to walk a little bit.
I was about to say I need to go grab some toilet paper and freshen up. Let me recheck that cross order button there.
And you guys see that, how just a fucking number, nothing else. You see, he did everything perfect. But believe me, if he had seen it in the middle of the trade, guess what he had done?
I
Flat.
saw the number of contracts traded. I just didn't pay attention to what the contract was or how much
Yeah,
the P&L was.
that's what I'm saying. If you had saw that was a bigger amount, or if it was NQ instead of MNQ, you'd be like, holy shit, you
Yeah.
know, and you'd be hopping out.
Remember that time you laid on 100 lot
Oh
by
shit.
accident?
But I stayed though, remember?
You
I
did. You
stayed.
did. You stayed, got profitable, closed it for like 60 grand or something.
Yep, yep.
It was a fast trade too. As soon as that thing got profitable, you started to bail it.
I pushed the button to flat and was taking so long to go through a hundred,
100
a
contracts.
hundred contracts. We're like dun 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 dun. Like, come on.
And the nice thing is price was advancing as you were
Yes,
exiting.
yes, it was. That's what gave me the money. If it wasn't,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 50% target was smashed. Oh, and all that excitement this morning. I did not draw. Oh, I did not draw this. And Dewey, this is actually a really good looking deep shark pattern that we've got here.
only 30 seconds.
Oh, in the 1 minute.
Yeah, yeah,
Check that
one
out.
minute, 30 seconds. Yeah, would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you guys all the way down there that could be. Oh man, I cannot breathe again.
We're at the 161 for that move. That move should get up to, I mean, 161 is technically a reversal for a shark, but it can get up to the 180 to 227 as a very common reversal area for it. So you always talk about M's and W's in the 161 and 188.
Uh-huh.
Knowing the individual patterns, the only thing it does is it lets you fine tune where it's most likely going to return at.
Yeah.
You still have to pay attention to price action and everything else at those levels.
Yeah, like we did in the pivot point here, we knew it was going to
Hmm.
be a little bit, 50%. We knew it would be a little bit, and the VWAP we knew would be a little bit. So everything was
And
right there.
we hit that pivot point right before the report.
Yeah, that was a good thing.
Yeah. Michigan sentiment report. Bad news. People sell. Fed says I'll take that.
Yeah. Stock holds early gains, but I losing week of inflation fears, J&J gains on the breakout plan. I guess Johnson and Johnson.
Well, the gains there make sense because frequently when successful companies split apart, they're worth more apart than they are together.
Yes, together.
And
Yeah.
so people are probably jumping in anticipation of part of their shares getting split out across those different companies, and the collective sum will be greater than their initial investment. I think that's the bet with Johnson and Johnson's right now, is that will happen. I don't know if I'm going to trade again.
Here he goes again.
There he goes again. Yeah, and then
You know,
okay,
this is
guys, I'm gonna do something else.
so.
I'm having major deja vu.
So
Yeah.
here's something funny, guys. My son was on the call yesterday when I said that, and then he comes down at lunchtime and sees me trading, and he's like, "I thought you said you were out."
Yeah. I said that.
Like, well, what happened was,
What had happened was 3 minutes is turning up all the way down, so this might be just a flag
well,
continuation.
we did the 161 almost back to the B point, but not quite to the B point. So we still have that untouched B point down below.
Yeah, we do have few B points all the way down too.
Yeah, we got a handful. So real time yesterday was asking me about falling knives, and I mentioned that frequently a falling knife, it either falls with downward momentum or it quickly changes the momentum. And if you look at this case, the 1 minute chart had falling momentum leading up to that. And that big spike up that we had at the open didn't do any kind of a crossover on the 1 minute. And that falling knife was with momentum. So if you were momentum trading, you would have been with that direction the whole time.
Yep. Hey Greg, how you doing?
I dropped another one off. I got one left. I dropped another one off in
How
like
how are
8
you
points.
net? How are you net on the trade?
So my third one. Oh, net. I'm
Yeah.
down. Uh, Not bad. My third contract is down at the bottom here,
Okay.
But
so
what
it's
is
sitting in
the
at 44 points.
negative?
No, 44 points positive rate at my third account. My third
Yeah, because it drops off
contract.
the accounts in the
Drop.
order you put
Yeah.
them on, and so
Yeah.
his highest accounts were the ones dropped off.
Oh, yeah,
But
contract. Sorry.
to
Yeah, yeah,
be
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, to be pay attention, if you had not touched like I did, you'll be positive right now, right?
Uh, oh,
Oh,
yeah,
because you're positive now, right?
yeah. I
Yeah.
see what
Or
you're saying.
you're, yeah.
Yeah, I got
So
spooked though.
yeah,
Whatever.
that's I'm just and this is the exercise that I'm doing it. It's just to show you guys that, I could have got out of there, which I told you guys I would not going to, because I'm greedy. But
You still think it's going up though, higher?
yes, I think it's
I
gonna go up.
I think it I think it is. It might be a grind the rest of
Yeah.
the day,
Yeah,
but I think it is as well.
Okay. Well, I mean, if it's, I got it, my bottom contract is in a nice spot then. It's 43
but
points away. So
just remember that 43
yeah.
points not real, okay?
What do you
Uh,
mean?
Because you dropped off your highest contract on that trade, and so your break even point is really wherever that
Oh, okay.
line
Yeah.
was
I see what
ish,
you're saying. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So this,
That's why
mhm.
whenever I've got multiple contracts in and I've averaged into a price like that, I like to pay attention to what my all-in average break even was,
yeah,
and then I want to, if I don't put my SIP above that before I start peeling out, I want to mark it on my chart
yeah,
so that I can still know that for that trade, how am I doing?
yeah,
Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
yeah,
Well, yeah. So
Okay.
I let my very first one go way too early then because that put me in the red.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, I let it go like
but which is
down
okay
quick.
because sometimes it's better lose 5 points and then go back down 20 or 30, rebuy
Yep.
that
Yep.
one that you lost five, so
Yeah, I
that's
gotcha.
good. That's not bad. You didn't do anything wrong. You know what I mean? It's
Mm,
just a management, just management. You manage your trade.
I see what you're
Uh,
saying. Yeah.
so like right now here, should I sell it for last 4 points? We could, if that's the type, if I think it's not gonna continue going up, I'll lose 6 points beside lose, 30, 40,
Hmm.
50, 60. That was all the way to 60 points negative,
Yeah, yeah, I gotcha.
and re-enter in another trade and do the other trade. But
Hmm.
for to teach you guys what I'm doing, and I'm letting I'm on two accounts. I'm on this account and my other account next to me, and I'm scalping on my third account. So
Mm.
overall, I'm positive, but and I have my first take profit here in 10 points.
Hmm. Yeah,
Uh,
if I'd have, hindsight 2020, if I didn't get spooked and followed you step for step, yeah, I can see where. Um,
yeah. And what I'm gonna
but
do is,
anyway,
no, it's all good. I'm telling you, it's all good. I'm gonna mark what this is because like Doyle said, when this one goes, when I sell this one, probably this price is gonna drop. But I need to know you know, I'll have where will be my
mm,
zero
So,
balance.
so, Zach, let me pull up a note so that I can show you what we're talking about to answer that question. So, is this thing gonna let me draw? Yeah, it'll let me draw. All right. So if you go in here and then you buy again here, it actually puts your average price. It puts your average price there. And so if if whenever you get back to this level and you sell one lot, this order goes away, and this break even remains on your chart. The problem is since that was part of the same order, that was part of the same play, if you will, your average price is technically here. That's what we mean by, that lower number isn't really your break even, because your break even is the average of all of your entries. And so if you went in here, if you went in here, if you went in here, You know, your first average is going to get you in at 50%, and then you take a look at this, and you've got 2 lots in, you add another one, so it's going to close the gap by a third. So after you get that third lot in there, your break even is now down here. But whenever you close these 2 contracts out, your chart trading system is going to show that one still, even though your technical average price for those 3 is here. Does that make sense, Zach?
You see on happen with mine here really soon here, hopefully. When I sell one, and my average price would change. You you see that what we're talking about. How how did you draw that thing there, Doyle?
It's an app that you don't have because you won't pay for it, called
Okay,
OneNote.
okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
um, yeah. There are 3 companies I have crawled in bed with: Microsoft, Google, and Apple. That said, I buy pretty much everything from Amazon, but Microsoft, Google, and Apple know everything there is to know about me.
Yeah.
Hey, Doyle,
Yeah, Brian.
on that thing you just drew, I didn't quite understand it, but let me ask you this, just kind of start here. When you get into a trade, say you get into say, I go long and then I add a couple below where I got in, or one, or however many, um, brings my average down. But if I get out of one, it's first in, first out, correct? So in other
Yeah,
words,
so
so if I get
so
out of one, I'm actually getting out of my higher ones, and I'm going to get out of that at a loss.
yes,
Does that make sense?
yes, you're correct. Yep. So here I'll kind of draw it one more time.
Yeah.
So if you got in here and then you got in here, your average is right there, right?
Right.
So I'll do like 3 entries. So you got in there, and you're going to get in again here.
I don't see anything that
So
you're doing it. It's all black.
you don't see the white horizontal lines running across my
Oh
screen?
yeah, I do.
Okay, yeah. And so you got in here for your first contract. It went against you. You scaled in a second contract. Your break-even point is now between the 2. You added another third. So here you added, you doubled it. So you kind of met right in the middle. But since you just added one more here, you're only going to close the distance between here, the middle, and here by a third, which kind of puts you really close to where your second entry was. And so, price comes down and it goes back up, and you get rid of that first one. You got rid of that first one. Well, now that happened, and that's no longer a record in your system's going to move your break-even point down because that first entry is not part of its math anymore. But yet, it doesn't really change the fact that for that trade, you had 3 entries, and your break-even point is actually higher than your system now shows. And then when you scale out your next one, it's going to leave this down here as your entry point, as your break-even. Your break-even is really way up here.
Hey, check. Look at mine here. I might happen now. Let me toggle trade here. So I bought here. Look, it's gonna do it. And I bought another one here. So I bought 2 here, and I
Mm-hmm.
bought 1 here, and that brought to this what
Yep.
I am right now. So as soon as I sell this one, look the average. What's gonna happen with the average?
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna drop down.
Look, check it out. Look, you see it?
See how that happened?
Drop all the way down. But now, if I put it in SIP here, it's not going to be 0. That's not my balance. My balance is right here. To break even, I need to put it all the way here.
Yeah. That's why I like, before I scale out, I like to mark if I don't move my SIP to that location first, I like to mark it on my chart some way so that I know where the real break even is. Because if price retreats against me, I want to get out before that.
Yeah, so and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put a 1 there, and I wanna decrease this one.
Not knowing that hurt me pretty bad when I first started trading. So in my head, I was just like, okay, yeah, my position is positive now. I can get out. Whew, man, I'm so glad I got out of that positive now. But I wasn't realizing that I was actually not getting out positive at all.
Yeah, only thing that you
Yep.
can do to get out, if you get out 100%, that's what I was telling you guys yesterday. If you get out with all three right there, you'll be fine. You don't need to do all this calculation. But if you just
Yep.
get out partial, this will happen. Will be zero if you get out all three together. I'm saying three because that's what I had. Okay. So if you had got out three right there, you've been zero.
Yeah, I understand that.
But if you get just one, this happened from here to the. Let me untoggle this.
Yeah, because that very first one, like I did, put me in the negative.
Yeah.
I didn't wait to get up. Yep.
So and patience. This type of trade, you need to have patience, like we've been doing. Am I was scared or anything? Absolutely not. I did what I told you guys I was going to do it, right? And we did it. We did everything.
You just played out a real quick ABCD pattern from the 188 back to the 100 right there on the 3 minute.
A B C D, huh? Where from here to here?
I have it marked on my screen here.
Ah, the little guy.
Yeah, on the 3 minute.
Yeah.
So let me ask it this way, or trying to clarify it. Um,
Mhm.
Say I get in one and then I add another. It went against me. I add another. My break even on that first contract is always going to be where I originally got in.
Well,
That
no.
would be
And
would be the division.
here's
You
the
need
problem,
to
though.
divide. Look at that again. Hold on one second before you do
Here,
that. If it sip me here again, it's gonna happen again. Check it out, guys. Oh, it's not gonna sip me. No, it's not gonna sip me. Okay, go ahead, Doris. Sorry, I was going to. If it
so
sip me, was going to move me again from what I
so
am.
here's the problem. If Lou, when he averages in, he likes for price to go against him and then come back to his original entry, and he enters again there. The value in that is all your entries are collected at roughly the same price, and so as you scale out, nothing's really changing. But if you enter in at a high price and then again at a lower price, your break even now is actually the middle between those two.
Right.
And
And
that's
and and,
only
and
break even if you take both contracts off. Like if you
uh,
take one off, then it still goes negative against you if it goes back
Okay,
down.
gotcha.
yeah, because I mean the problem with looking at it pretty much any other way is you lose sight of the fact that you're very negative on that first trade still.
Right.
And so, we used to trade with this guy that would average in as price goes against him, and then he would shed off those first several and be left with that nice price down at the bottom and really boast about how good that is. But the problem is math, right? You were very negative on those first several entries that you put in, and you're not paying attention to your real average break even price because you started that trade at let's just say the top of that falling knife, right? Mathematically, as you averaged in wherever that break even point is, that's you're not profitable until you get to that average break even. Now then, that said, it's a good thing to stay aware of, but you also need to pay attention to just basic price action, right? When it starts that rebound and let's say you want to shed some things off, yes, but if it looks like it's still going to go down, you need to just cut your losses and get out.
Unless your account is
But
huge,
I find, unless your account's huge and you can just keep averaging in,
which I
um,
disagree complete.
the only people who really win at there's two very common trading strategies out there that pass Monte Carlo tests. One is averaging in, right? I go in with one and then I average in with another one and then I go in with one and then I average in with one and then I average in with two and then I average in with four and then 8 and then 16. The math behind that works. The math behind it says, at some point in time, that's going to turn into a very profitable trade for you. The problem is most of our accounts will blow up before that happens. Those big hedge funds with several $100 million that are trading under leveraged, they can pull that off. The other thing that they do is, they go in with one, their position for 4, and reverse their position for 8. Again, the Monte Carlo simulation on that will say that that's a success, but you have to have a really big bank account to trade that way. You'll just blow up.
So is that what I've seen some people do with micros? They'll say enter a trade long, and then they enter a bunch of other trades under that entry.
And pulling their average price down.
Okay,
Yep.
gotcha.
They're pulling their average price down. You'll see me do that to get out of a trade. I'll have something like it. I don't have faith that it's going to go up the way that I would like it to, and so I'll just pile in. And as soon as price gets above it, I either get completely out or I just leave like 1 or 2.
Now, pile in at a key level, not just pile in just anywhere.
Yes. That's a great clarification. You
And
can't just arbitrarily pick a place because using this as an example, right? If I wanted to take this and I thought this was going to break out and I went long here, and then I averaged in here, 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 here. This would have eaten me alive, right? It just wouldn't make any sense. You got to pick key levels. And so,
like for example,
this thing starts to go against you. Let me redraw these fibs, right? And they're not exact, but they're pretty close, right? You'll get the idea. You sit there and you go here, and you just do the math, and this pullback isn't really too bad.
Real quick. Look what put in my last one. 40 points.
Oh, because you peeled one off, and so
because one came and
it
sipped, and look what happened here.
yeah.
But if I move my stop to here, my sip to here, I am not gonna make 40. You know what I mean? I'll be losing. All from here, what I am down is a losing trade. I need to keep myself here. Here is on this trade. Uh, yeah, I have just one. Hold on, this account. This trade here is $900 right now. But if you go below this here, will be negative, if that makes any sense, on one contract.
You think this is still going to go up a little more?
Yep. That's why I'm gonna take my last one right here.
Okay, not much more then. All right.
Yeah, about 85. That's where my.
So the 120 during this entire consolidation on my chart here that you can see, this consolidation that was basically all day yesterday, and then we spiked down to the bottom today. If you take a look, we hit a level, we consolidated around it a little bit. We hit a level, we went up, we came back down to that level, we went up, we came back down to that level. During that entire time, there's two things that I'm paying attention to. One, momentum was rising up that entire time. So, that kind of speaks to, the price might want to head up. The other thing that I have to pay attention to, though, is momentum. Momentum fell. I'm sorry, not momentum. I'm sorry. Buy sell. Your on balance volume here. There were more sellers engaged in this price drop than there was in this price rise. And then when this price drop happened, there were more sellers engaged in that. And so the volume isn't justifying this price on a 2-hour chart. It's one of those things that's just kind of nice to know because on a 2 hour chart, this tells me this might be playing a little bit of a pullback before it goes down a little bit. But if you move down to like the time frames that we trade, the 5 minute, the 9 minute, they're saying it might hop up a little bit more. Momentum's about to cross to the positive side. On balance volume is looking really good on the 9 minute. If I move down to the 5, the check engine light is on to the bull side. Volume's kind of, relative strength looks good. So I'm thinking the price will create a new high after this fall at least.
Let me clarify something
The
you
value
said.
in knowing that is if you're doing like intraday scalping, it's nice to know these little time frames. If you're looking for a swing that you can hold for a period of time, you need to look at the forest a little more.
What did you say, Brian?
So to clarify one thing Doyle was saying earlier, say you're in a trade and it's going against you. You say you average in to get out. So what you're saying is that if you get out of all of your contracts at once at that lower average in price that's showing, then you will be
Yeah,
break even.
Yes,
correct.
correct.
Yeah, the price you see is the average of the whole shebang. It's not okay. I'm average, so I can get one out, and now I'm profitable. No, you're still negative wherever that first one you got in at
Yeah,
was.
it's just thinking about instead of take the money, you take points. Instead of the
Yeah,
market give you the money, they give you points. So if I move my stop to here and get sipped right here, I had made nothing on this trade. This is all I'm making
Right, got
this
it.
trade right here. That's
Okay,
45
now in
points.
light of what we just talked about, you showing that, now that makes sense.
Yeah, so instead of give the money on your account is giving you a little more room. That's all.
And
You think
you
this is a
and you
flag
know
on the
that
3 minute?
sell stock
Yeah,
is in profit. Why?
my sell my sell stop. This is my break even. That's my SIP.
So he knows that because he put that there
I
before he peeled off
mark.
his last contract. And so he put that there because he paid attention to where the average price was
Okay,
before he started peeling off.
okay, got it.
Yeah, yep.
So in here I'm making money. If I go below this here, I'm not gonna make much money. So that's
but
why.
there's the illusion of, oh, this is a profitable trade. So if you're not aware of that, you just have your stop just barely above. So you're like, yeah, I'm break even. I'm good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you're
And
not.
then you look at
Right,
your P&L at the end of the day and wonder what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
right.
So usually I don't mark like I did here. I know the area. I visualize the area
Yeah, you
and
just kind of mentally keep a
yeah,
track.
and don't be worried about mark like I did to be perfect and all this. I'm doing this to show you guys just for the teaching purpose. Greggy, I think maybe be a flag to go up. I just don't wanna pay for
Mm-hmm.
it. Yep, I just got sipped.
Yeah, if you look at the
I just got
30-second, we just broke an uptrend.
Yeah, I think we might come down for a little bit before it go up. Or maybe
Whoop.
be our range. Huh?
All right, red candle.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why I sipped there. Did you guys understand the trade that I did? On this account was very simple because I was with single. The other ones I is a lot more. So, but this account on this trade here was $655 in one NQ. So a MNQ, if you had done exactly what I did with what I did, would be $65. But no stress. At least for me, it was no stress. Were you stressed, Greg?
Nah, I mean, it's just a combine, so I don't really think much of them.
Oh, Jesus. I'm gonna
Stop
scream
it!
at you
Don't say that
now.
out loud,
Yes.
man.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. It's the same thing with sim with me. I mean, I don't think of anything with sim. I
You
mean,
know,
I think of a combine as a little bit more, but
You know what changed me? Because I had that problem for quite some time. What changed me was that, there's this concept in the investing world of lost opportunity, opportunity cost, right? And so I sat down one day and I did the math, because I'm an analyst. That's what I do. I do math, curl up in bed with a good spreadsheet. But
no, the wife is gonna be
I did,
mad at you.
but I did the math and basically asked myself if I stopped treating these like they aren't real and I treated it like it was real money and traded it right and won it, where would I be financially now? Following the scaling systems and everything else. And that number made me mad. It made me like mad. Like it boiled in me for days mad. And that's what it took for me. It took me really getting mad at missed opportunity. And that's one of the problems with human psychology that I don't know that there's a great answer for. But one of the problems with human psychology is we will fight to not lose something we don't have yet. I'm sorry, we will fight to not lose something we have. But if we have not yet received that thing, it doesn't mean that much to us, and so we don't fight to get it.
To get it. Right.
We fight a lot harder to retain what we've earned than to get it in the first place. And that's one of the reasons why successful people tend to stay successful because they've experienced it. And when they lose it, they know what it takes to get it again and they do it. And that's also one of the reasons why unsuccessful people don't get there is, the recipe for success is actually easy. Um, do what successful people are doing and don't try to reinvent the wheel. Just copy them. And that's the recipe for success. Take a successful person and just do what they're doing. You may not be the next Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk, but you'll be successful.
Mm.
Um,
Hey,
but most
Brian.
people aren't willing to do it. That's the hard part.
Brian, you there?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Are you watching my screen?
Yep.
Okay. Look, this is live. That's real account, okay? So you know. Let's do this again. See if you guys can, I enter, I did not look for any answer, I just enter, okay? And let's try to get out of this trade positive, which I hope is easy, but if not, we work through it. I hate going in with one because that I should have had entered with two, but I was a little worried. What do you think about this trade, Brian, so far? Talk to me.
I mean, looks good.
What would you do if you were me?
Well, if I was me, I would probably sit.
Okay, what's gonna happen if I sip right now?
It's going to come back and get you.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is instead of do that, let's do something different. Let's put him back here. One come right there. I'm gonna enter a second one. That's what Doyle was saying that I like to do it.
When it, enter where when it gets where?
I just enter the second one. Just touch me
Oh,
again,
okay. Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
and I enter the second one. Uh, Again, this is just for purpose of training. Uh, Now, if I have two and I go up like it did, with like 6, 7 points, I might have to take one off. At least I had got paid, right? So that's why
Yep.
getting one and to sip here, that's a 3 minutes chart, okay? To sip here, and know that my trade is still there, why am I going to sip? Because I'm going to re-enter, right? The trade.
Yeah.
I was so comfortable with this trade that I enter again. I enter more on my trade. And I'm doing it in two different accounts. The one that you see and the one that you don't. One is in 30 seconds and one is in 3 minutes here. All right, so what do I do now? Brian, talk to me.
Um,
Just wait and see it. Just,
yeah. I guess I'd still just wait.
okay, we do that then. You're gonna do this trade for me. All right?
If you say so.
If, uh, if I see something that you're doing it, that you normally do, and I don't agree, we talk about it. Okay? Because that's my real money. Uh,
Okay.
but this way, it's gonna make you. And don't think I'm picking on you now. A lot of people did that before with me. You're not my first one.
Well, would you split and sip one here?
I would not sip yet. No, we are break to the trend. We
Okay.
have a strong bullish 3 minutes candle. Uh, I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable to let come down all the way to S1 and edit. Before I enter this, I put in my head I'm gonna edit another ones in S1. So it can come all the way down here and I'm still good for it. So so putting that in mind.
Okay.
On this account, let me see the balance of this account. Has $1,491 and is that right? Yeah, 1,491,455. Holy shit.
So you're not sweating it.
No. So I'm just letting you know. So we have margin, to edit.
That's one thing I try to tell people when they see the numbers that he posts, and you look at like the number of contracts that he trades, right? If you just take $1 million and let's just keep it a nice round number and say he trades 75 contracts at max,
But I trade over
that's
all
13
my
times.
accounts though. 75 is not
Oh,
just
that's just
one.
that one account.
That's just one
Okay.
account. Yeah, this is just
Oh,
this
so if
account.
that's just the one, you do about 25 then, don't you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 25, 25,
Yeah, in that one
25.
then. Yep. So there we go. That's closer to what I was thinking it was. So yeah, roughly 40 grand per contract.
Yeah, no, I would not do 75 in 1 mil now. I'll be scared. I'll be worried. Now, if I think, Brian, if I think that something is not like if something changed, like the 3 minutes is still up, but if something changed and I think it's gonna come against me, I can do two things: sip one or take profit in one. Since it's so close, if I sip, I'm gonna get sipped. All right. So instead, do a sip. I'll take profit. Does that make sense?
I don't really quite see the difference.
Because sip, I'm not making no money. Like, let's do it so you can see. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Increase
Oh,
price.
okay, I got you. In other
So,
words, I get it. I get it now. In other
yeah.
words, you'd take the 8 points, not put it in SIP.
Yes. If I think something
Gotcha.
change,
Gotcha.
I'll take my money. I don't let sip me. I'm gonna take the money from the market. For example,
Yeah,
right
gotcha. I
here, I
understand.
think it's gonna come back down. Let's do something here. Oh, what is my other?
And you'll see me do that with stops
Oh
too, right?
shit.
I'll have my stop down there kind of like a panic reason, right? And if it trades against me, but I still like the reason I went long, I'll hold on to it. But if I see the market shift in a way that I think it no longer agrees with my long position, I'm not going to let it just come down and hit my stop just because.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and get out because something in the market has changed since my entry.
All right, right there, it's 12 points. I'm gonna take one off. Okay,
which I was about to say.
okay, cool. So I'm gonna take one off. We just made 200 bucks, right? Around 200 bucks on this trade. And am I gonna sip now, or what do you want me to do, or
I would sit.
you sip? Okay, so let's sip.
Hit this resistance line I posted the other day. That's really important.
Yeah, yeah, it's the yellow trend
Okay.
line.
Yeah, this. Do you have it?
Yeah,
I have it declining from like the 30 minute really.
yeah. So,
I think we're gonna
I'll
break
be
it.
right back, guys.
yeah, Brian,
Okay, we just did it.
yeah, Brian,
Uh-huh.
you there? Okay, so on SIP here, what can happen is this come back down to retest to keep on going up, right?
Okay, yeah.
So do you want me to put it SIP? Do you want me to put a little bit above? Remember, those are 3 minute candles, okay? Those are not 30-second candles. Those are 3 minutes candle.
Well, if there's a possibility of it doing that, I would might maybe pull it back a little bit below where that retest would be.
Okay, we can do that. Or you can take the profit too, whatever you want. You tell me, you know?
Right? It's like me personally, and I would emotionally, I would take profit.
Because it's 25. So instead of taking profit, do something for me. Do this.
Also, analyze what's going on there. There's a pattern in play right now.
Yeah, is the XABCD or ABCD, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yep, the ABCD, we're at the 161 of that right now. So if you're wanting to take profit, move your stops up and keep them below each fib level as it rises.
Yep, yep.
Well, I was thinking on a 3 minute, since the candles are longer, maybe I would follow my stop under each candle.
It is, but the thing is, you want to take a profit, right? Instead of take a profit, you should take,
Okay,
yeah, you take profit right here on the yellow.
okay, gotcha.
Okay. However, for take instead of take profit, what I'll do, I'll go behind and try to see if it breaks through it. Because I still this trade is still gonna go to 127 at least. I think we still have a trade here. Okay, we just got sipped. But do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Uh, but go again. So I want you to do it. So that's why I.
okay, yeah.
But I think I still have trade to go up in here. But I wanna you to have the feeling, and talk to me about it. Does anybody else want to do it? You can do it. You can do it. Or Brian want to do it again, or just let me know, and I will enter in anything here, and we try to get out of this shit. Anybody? Anybody?
I think
Good.
with
Real time.
micros, you
Stay in the trade. I think we still have at least to do 127, or at least to R1. I will not get out until there. I will not be worried about it. What, Brian?
I was going to say, in trading micros, you should be even less nervous about it, I guess.
I'm trading minis
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying, if
on
like I'm
micros.
trading micros,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, it's the
yeah,
same
you can do
thing.
one more.
You know, you want to do one more?
Yeah, do one more.
Okay, so I'll get in and let's try to get the hell out of here on a positive note. I want to come against us so we can add it and do all that shit. going in favor is good. And this time I'm not gonna enter the second one unless you tell me. But you're gonna see how more difficult it is just with one. Look at that. Now what do you do? What do you do? Brian? Brian? Brian?
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
What do we do now? You see how with one is
Uh,
it's so difficult with one. It's like if we have
yeah, I
two,
mean,
we take one profit and the trade will be
yeah,
paid for, right? But tell me what you wanted me to do.
yeah.
10 points up?
Um, well, I mean, it's still not up high enough to really sit.
No, I agree with you. And do you see what I put in take profit right under the 127?
Okay,
Okay, on that ABCD. Why did I do that? Because the
because
127,
that's where you expect it to reverse.
yeah, reverse to 100 at least. At this point, if you wanted to be even more conservative, you can put it under the R1 because we're gonna have a bounce here.
It's definitely hard with one hanging in there.
It is, right? It's freaking. If we have two, it's like, okay, I can get one, I take one off, and remember, guys, you always enter with a stop, okay? I don't care, like I move my stop all the way down here because I wanted to make this trade positive, but I don't care, but at least I have a stop. If somebody drop a nuke somewhere and this thing dump, I wanted to get me out of this, take my money out of the market. So I might be losing a bunch of money here. It would be like close to 100 points. But at least it's not my account. So always enter with a stop. There's no
I mean, on
reason.
this one, so
Huh?
I was going to say on this one so far, since it didn't come against you, basically you're just going to have to take your profit at your target.
Yeah, I guess,
Correct.
right? Yeah, because we don't have much to do. But you see how important it is sometimes, and that's great that this happened. So we can see that I always tell you guys, one is a lot difficult than two because with two you can, if you go against you, it's better have just one because you can edit the other one quick. But do you want me to do anything or leave it alone
Um,
or
well, I guess you could sip. I guess you could sip now.
okay? So that's it.
Take a look at the small ABCD pattern.
Uh-huh.
We're right at the 188 here,
Oh, okay.
but we have no divergence, so we could just keep on trucking.
To the 227 that probably meet the 227 would be almost at the 127 then.
Yep. Yeah, where's that? Yep.
And but the 188 is working.
Yep. If you took a short up at 188, I'd be watching how it responds here at the 161 level. And bounced it. Now if we range sideways, something I've seen happen a few times is if we range sideways to this uptrend line that we have right here, and then we start to get diverged and it breaks this line, then that makes me want to take a short a lot more than it would right now.
Yeah, I'm not looking for a short right now at all.
No, not with this momentum.
Now, with a scalp, I might scalp short of a 127 or the R1 or something like that, but it's just for scalp. I'll be happier to short all the way here to 188 or 161. Oh, we have a big gap. That's what's holding us. Look at this gap here, guys. There's a huge gap right above here.
If you don't talk about it, maybe it will ignore
You ignore it, right?
it.
Mm, Brian's still there.
Yeah, I guess from here on out, you just don't do anything. You're in
Yeah.
SIP, and
It's hard, right, with just one.
definitely.
It's
You
so
know,
hard.
we tell folks
Lazio.
that, you know,
Yeah, Lazio, it is Friday then. I was singing earlier this morning.
we tell people that things change when you can go from trading one micro to two because you have trade management options. When you go from two to three, it's the benefit can just be exponential.
I actually would recommend people stay on Sim or a Combine or something like that until they have enough money to be able to trade three.
Yeah, yeah,
By the rules. Like,
yeah.
trading three is infinitively easier than one, and it's a lot easier than two. You have so many more options.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you
Whether that is whether that's 111 or one, wait a little bit, one, wait a little bit, one. Like, just if you have three in your pocket, it makes things a lot easier.
for sure.
It's
And like right, and we can
it's
do that
yeah.
here too. We can do that here too. We did two, now we did one. Next one we do three. What about that? This
Well,
way,
you have three different options. I guess technically four options available, right? You can the trade can go against you and you can lose, or the trade goes in your favor and you took your scalper's profit on one and you sip the other two, or the trade goes in your favor. And this is where the next two are really, really nice. You've got two options on how you can play your last two. You can either take a look at where the profit target is and then shed one off halfway and then shed one off at the profit target, locking in some profit before it gets there in case it reverses early. Or you can hold on to it and shed one off at the profit target and let the other one just see if it runs and see where it goes. You just don't have that kind of flexibility. You don't have any flexibility with one, and you don't have that kind of flexibility with two.
yeah. And that's what's happening right
With
now here,
two,
me
you're going
and
to take
Brian,
your
right?
scalper's profit. Yeah, with
Yeah,
two, you're going to
exactly.
take your scalper's profit to lock one in, and then
Yeah,
when do you take that last one off?
yeah,
It's easy when you did three, right? You took one off at the scalper's profit, you took one off at the target, and then you're just going to trail flags on that last one.
yeah, yeah. Brian, would you had take anything here yet or no?
Well, I guess if I'm pretty confident in my target and knowing that you know it'll usually get there, I
Oh,
might
I
move
think
it
your
up.
target's too close.
Right there,
Oh,
look,
okay, never mind.
done. Now
Yeah,
the reason that I did because it was just one,
the
right?
R1.
It
Oh,
was
okay.
just
Oh,
one.
oh, oh.
So
Yeah.
would
All
And
you
right.
would you have
R1 and 127s right there,
Oh,
right?
yeah, that's a beautiful profit. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
beautiful place to take profit if you just had one.
that was
so
the thing. Go
so
ahead,
when you
Brian.
asked me if I so when you asked me if I'd done anything, I said, "Well, confidence in my target." So would you have done anything, or just left your stop where it was?
You asking me or you wanted me to answer
Yeah.
you?
No, I'm asking you.
Okay, I would have done what I just did here if I just had one.
Okay.
My question was when was here, bouncing back and forth here. If it's in your account, would you have the patience to let this go up and down, or you'd be like, oh shit, 10 points, and I want to come back to me to 5 points? I'm gonna take profit.
Oh, if I was in a mini, definitely.
No, you trade micro, so let's even micro. Let's talk about the trade.
You
No,
should you shouldn't you
Okay.
shouldn't look at trading a mini or a micro any different.
yeah,
Mathematically, the only difference between those two trades is a micro is going to cost you two more ticks than a mini. That's it.
yeah. And
Just two ticks.
I'm talking about the trade in general. I can tell you that if it was waiting this long here, Greg would have take profit. I can tell this right now, right, Greg?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. I believe he would have take profit here. He would not have the patience to let work through it. And now look at that.
Well,
Because we had just one, look how much we are missing, right? I almost took my other account and took my SIP out of the other one. Real time, how you doing your trade? I'm sorry, I have so many things going on. I'll be looking for taking profit here pretty soon, or come closer, go behind, you know. No, no, don't kick, don't. If you had just one, R1 was a good take profit, you know. Don't kick yourself. Was a good trade. Don't be yourself because that, you know, was good trade. Was a good trade. Yeah, we could have had more, you know, 20 points or whatever. We get in another place, but your trade was good. That's what you guys need to think about it. Going to 150. Let's pay attention to this 150 because we have been turning in 141 and 150, right, Doyle? We are turning on
Yep.
those, but we are pretty strong still. Yep, we are pretty strong to the upside because the momentum. I guarantee real time. Doyle, real time's asking you a question. Momentum on a high time frame. That's what I've been telling you guys
Oh, I've
here.
got people. I've got people on the inside that shot me a text message.
Yeah, send you a message, right? We're gonna go.
No, no. So we were right around here. We were right around here, and I just looked at the higher time frame and how strong this 3 minute was, and I just felt that, hey, if we have a pullback at that R1, it's gonna pop up above it. I didn't know how much further it was gonna pop, but where the momentum was right there on that candle, that was just telling me that. And if you take a look at like my unbalanced volume on that time frame, there were a lot more buyers right here than there was here. And so at this price level, this was a no-brainer breakout. This price level, there were so many more buyers, and the momentum was so strong. And so the 127 on that was a perfect, it would make it at least to there. But the momentum that we had before we got to R1 was just strong. I lean into my higher time frames quite a bit. When I'm following my system, I'll be honest, I don't always follow my system, and it gets me into trouble when I don't. But if you noticed, I took a scalp after Lou exited. I took a 7 point scalp because I had that kind of confidence that it was gonna
Yeah, it's gonna keep on going
it was
up.
gonna pop up. Yeah. So I figured it was at least gonna make it to the 141. So
Yeah,
let
but
me
our
let me
trade in
take a scalp.
here since was one, and we predefine my trade. I'll stick to it. I do not change. I
Yep.
predefine my trade.
And when you're running a combine, and when you're doing a combine, they reward you for hitting your profit targets because when you reach a high and price retreats against you, you lose part of your stop. You lose part of your cushion is probably the better way to put it. And let's say you lose $100 of it. If you set a profit target that's $100 away and you hit that profit target, you now have all your cushion back again. Those combines reward you for setting targets and hitting them. As far as like, where's it going to go from here? One thing I do like is this time frame when we look at the daily. I really wanted it to get down here to what is that 769. We made a prior high, we broke out, we never freaking retested it. We had a very valid pullback, and we never retested it. So I thought we were going to come down and retest that level. And I would really like for that to happen because that gives us permission to keep this truck going. We leave this level untested, and that gives price permission to come back and test it down the road. Now, then, that said, if we look at what Lou was talking about, Lou and I were talking about this morning, I don't know if you were on yet, wave 1, 2, all of that's wave 3, and then this is wave 4. Let me zoom in and say what we like about that being from a wave 4 perspective.
Oh yeah, we spoke about that, right? For the fifth wave, maybe the
Yeah, and
fifth wave.
so if you look right there, we came down and we basically flirted with the 12 EMA and the 23% provided support. We closed at it. We hung around that level yesterday. We came back and retested it again. That could be support for a pullback to just come up and make a new high around the 127 of this move. And then we would have played out a 5-wave daily pattern. And then we could do an ABCD down to either retest this level or this one.
And right now at this second,
And your smaller time frames, like your hourly, look at the hourly. The hourly indicates that this might have been the end of the 4th wave.
Meaning,
and at this level here, we don't have any entrance right now, okay, guys? So you guys know, because we still very any entrance here would be short to go to the B point, but I don't think we're gonna go there. So
And
I don't feel comfortable.
we're coming up to lunch on a Friday.
Yes, yes. So that will be the it for the for Friday. So I don't see any trades here right now. Hey Brian,
yeah.
did you like it what we did?
Oh, yeah, that was good.
Okay, we can do more often. If I don't remember, you can let me know, and I'll be happy to do this. And anybody that is hearing here, just ask to you be able to talk, because I don't want it to be paying attention on writing and doing it, because like I said, this is my real account.
Oh, and
I'm
I
going to
got a
take a
lot of stuff I've got to get done today, so this will be my last trade I take. But I'll stay on the call with you guys for a bit. But I'm going to go ahead and post my week's P&L.
since you were talking to me, I'm going to take a quick break where you just let me know where you won't talk to me while I'm gone.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. And that's why I didn't want to short, guys. And now we are getting to hourly. Ay, Jesus. We're getting to this hourly trend right here. Is the 161 as well. So let's see if we'll get any. Oh my. Real time. Don't do that. we did our trade. We talked about it was a positive trade. That's all what it is. It was a positive trade. We took our profit. So don't, you know, it's, it's not good to be thinking negative on a good trade. Good trade is a good trade, no matter what it is.
What do you think about that calendar I just posted?
Oh, I did not look. Hold on.
P&L.
Oh, nice. Very nice, man. Today I thought you were going to get more as you did that 9 and Q.
Well, I I can't remember exactly what I did right around here in the middle of this falling knife, but I let it go further against me than I thought, and I was
Okay.
trading in Q.
Gotcha,
I didn't.
gotcha.
I was trading in Q this whole time through here.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
They can bite you.
Yep.
If you took that trend that I post there in 161, you take short, please, 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 put your stop in profit. Uh, yeah, CEO Huang, the powerful CEO they ever know, they're saying. How's everybody week overall? Filler, filler, filler. How's everybody? P&L for the week, guys. Everybody positive. I don't care how much it is. I'm asking about positive
Yeah.
or negative. Either.
And Zach said he's green, and he's 760 short to hit his combine target.
Zach. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zach. Dewey, like you guys we were talking about yesterday, he's a pharmacist as well. And you guys have a way to follow, rules and follow step by step, and because you got to, right? The recipes and all that shit. I think that helps you guys a lot because Dewey picked it up real quick and he ran with it. And I think that's gonna be the same for you. You know, you're getting it and you're gonna run with it. I think it's this printing on you guys type of deal. That's why I told you guys to take the put a sip on that short, because I still don't believe it.
Three drives on the 1 minute here.
Oh yes, it is indeed.
Yep. With with momentum divergence. I just don't like ideally on my three drives, I like to see that price is being pushed out without a lot of real buyers, and there are buyers behind the price move still.
Yep.
So I don't think it's, especially when I look at my 3 minute.
Oh yes. Up, up, up.
My 3 minute says hold on.
Yeah,
Yeah, that breakout was basically the 3 minute saying, "Here, hold my beer. I'll be right back."
yeah.
I mean, it's acting like that was the bottom of the fourth wave on the daily.
Yeah, that daily we are right on though.
Yeah, because this is a lot of buying. With just a third wave on the 3 minute.
Do we have a cheat sheet on MACD divergence?
I do
I
not,
know.
but that would not be hard to put something like that together.
Yeah, I was just I spoke to somebody earlier this week. I don't even remember who it was, and they were talking about divergences, and they completely their mind was just blown away that divergence is a thing. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, well, how do you recognize this during the day? I was like, well, it's just kind of ingrained in me at this point. But
Yeah,
so
yeah, I
maybe
could.
make
I
something up so they can kind of
You know
cheat sheet
what?
it.
How about this? We use this so frequently. Why don't I hold a training session on it? And it'll be kind of ad hoc. There won't be a presentation on it, but this Sunday I'll do a training session dedicated to MACD and price.
Yeah, recorded one. I
Yeah,
assume
yeah, yep, yeah.
the
I'll
training
record
video.
it. We'll pull up some charts. Naturally, the more people that show up, so that we can have an interactive discussion on it, would be better. But yeah, I think that would be a great. I think that would be a great one because I use that all the time, and the technique associated with looking at whether the MACD is congruent or whether it's diverging from price. That's also the same way I use my on balance volume.
Yeah, and like the MACD divergence can make a massive difference on harmonics playing out. I
Oh,
mean,
heck
if,
yeah!
if it goes to a 188 and you have no divergence, you shouldn't be
You know what?
looking to be as heavy as if it was way
A
diverged
shark.
in 188.
A shark pattern's a great example of that, right? The shark can turn around anywhere beginning at the 161. And man, it's huge. 161 to 224 is its reversal range. And so, how do you know where it's going to turn around? Is it going to turn around at the 161, the 188, the 200%, the 224? The answer to
Yeah,
that is pay attention to momentum.
yeah.
Sometimes
What
this
level is
it
it
will
diverged
bounce.
at?
Right. Sometimes it'll hit that number and just bounce off. And if so, you might miss it, but very frequently enough to make a difference in your account, you're going to see divergence when you get there.
Yeah, I remember I used to beat myself up. I was like, man, why are these harmonics just not working sometimes? I don't understand. And somebody pointed out to me that, hey, whenever you're doing a harmonic, add your MACD in there to your analysis, and it will make worlds difference. And I started doing that. I don't even remember when it was. It was years or so ago. But I was like, whoa.
And using that, using your MACD officially makes you a momentum trader.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, momentum isn't necessarily the same as a trend trader, because you can be in an uptrend and temporarily momentum can shift down. And that's how you know to short here, because momentum just told you that. But I'm a big fan of being a momentum trader. It's kind of rules me. My best trades by far are when I trade with momentum. Boy, we went from the R1 to the R2
Yeah.
without really even thinking about it.
Yeah. We.
Yeah, we cleared the session VWAP, we cleared the monthly VWAP, and we have cleared the weekly average price. So we are, no matter how you look at it, daily, monthly, or yearly, we're effective. We are officially up. I'm sorry, daily, weekly, or monthly, we are officially above average price again.
Yeah. What is all-time high?
Like 17.7 or
No.
16.7, something like that. What was it?
No.
17.7.
16,448.
448. Okay.
Yep, 448.50. There it is. I can't remember who mentioned that. You know, clicking the middle button on your mouse
Mhm.
to pop up that little freaking data box.
I told you yesterday that, but I don't know if it was before that or not.
You definitely told me yesterday. You may have told me before that as well. Somebody
I
told
don't
me this.
remember.
I just like uh, I just like having it over, my chart that's off screen, where I'm actually doing all my trade executions that you guys see me streaming over here. I've got the data box laid on top of the trade panel there. So as I kind of scroll through the charts, I can see, what day am I looking at, date, price, open, high, low, close, volume, without having to click.
I like the way, I've never thought about that. I use tabs myself, but I like the way where you've got the different time frames on your right chart, so you can
Yep.
click through them, and then you just have your 20-second chart on the left.
Well, yeah, 20-second and my 1 minute, because most of the time I'm looking at my minute here, and when I've got a smaller time frame that I want to share with you guys, I can just toggle this one over and
Yeah,
look at
okay, yeah, I
that.
just saw the 1 minute.
Yep. I think Brett showed me that. I see a lot of folks out there, they'll basically have all of their charts on the same time frame, and then they've got, let's say they're freaking trading 30-minute charts, and so their tabs are, all the different instruments. They've got, the NQ, the ES, the RTY, the YM, CL. They've got all of their freaking instruments, and so they'll have like a 30-minute chart over on the right. They'll have a 15-minute chart of all of those, and then they'll have a 5-minute chart with all of that other crap tabbed out.
We are going to keep on going up.
So 120 is definitely up now. So the 2-hour trend is definitely up. The daily trend has officially slowed down. So 2 hours up, 60 minutes up. Yeah, basically 2 hours and down. Oh, that's ugly, but check that out. That is that's something we should pay attention to.
What is it?
Right there.
Yeah, wave 3.
Well, possibly it could also be X, A, B, C, D.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that 188, right there is lining up with, I mean, if that 188 is lining up with
Yeah, it's
resistance.
important horizontal price.
What time
Uh,
frame is that?
That's hourly.
Okay.
There you go, Doyle. There's a little cheat sheet for MACD divergence.
Okay.
This insane move. Insane.
Yep. Yeah, what's funny is a lot of the training out there on MACD divergence, they don't call it bullish and bearish divergence. If it's bearish divergence, they just call it divergence. If it's bullish divergence, they call it. Wait, I'm getting those backwards. Yeah, I got them backwards. If it's bullish divergence, they just call it divergence. If it's bearish divergence, they call it hidden divergence. And I'm like, there's nothing hidden about it. It's bullish or it's bearish. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, the one thing that I would add to that, and I'll talk about it in the training, is the MACD gives us two things, right? It gives us this divergence that we can see from signal lines, and that is good. The other thing it gives us is the histogram, and the histogram is simply just a measure of how far apart the signal line is from the trailing average line. And as you see that histogram growing, that basically means that the signal line is growing in strength faster than average. And so that is a hint of bullish behavior. So you'll hear me say, hey, everything looks good, but the check engine light is on. That basically means that, even though everything is still kind of online from a momentum perspective, when the check engine light's on, the histogram, basically the separation between the signal line and its average is changing in a way we should pay attention to.
Getting smaller, you mean?
Or yeah, either of them, right?
Oh,
Like right
okay.
now, if we take a look, at the signal line right now, what was a good example? If I probably dropped down to a 15-minute, you could have seen it early. Yeah. So right here at this point, you see that big green line? That was bigger than everything else to its left over here. That basically said that when this bar happened, the MACD was really, really good. Even though from the line itself, the MACD line itself, was still down here. But the signal line, the gap, it was spreading. So that's an early indicator that the MACD is possibly going to get even stronger. And the same thing, the same thing you'll see here. Sometimes you'll see, you'll see, the signal line starting to close up in the histogram, or you'll see the signal line opening. But we can pull through some examples of that. I'm a big fan of paying attention to both of those things. I know Dewey as well. Dewey has actually separated them out into two different indicators on his chart. He pays attention to them so much. He looks at the MACD separate from the histogram. Yeah, there's actually trading setups dedicated to MACD formations. In fact, there's one right there. I wonder if it's visible on the 5-minute at 13:30 yesterday. So look at this one, for example. So right here, yesterday right after lunch, we had this incline happening, price is rising. And so, price was coming up here. We come down here and we look at the MACD histogram. The MACD histogram's kind of growing. It's doing good. We come up here and we make this high, this second set of highs. The MACD histogram's making higher highs, which basically means not only is the MACD signal line rising, but since the histogram is making higher highs as well, that means that the signal line is continuing to advance faster than average. But when it got to this third high up here, the MACD signal line made a new high, like we would expect it to, but the signal line was actually slowing down. The average was catching up to it. So that's, when we see stuff like that, the check engine light was on. If we zoom down to a 5-minute chart and look at that same place, here's what it looked like. We can see there was a MACD crossover. It pulled back. Price made a new high. MACD made a new high. Histogram made a lower high. And then price made a new high. MACD made a lower high. And so at that point, your MACD officially had divergence. Your histogram had divergence. And you can see the fall that happened after it. Short-lived, but you can still see by watching momentum in this MACD, you can see the effects of it. Oh, check that out, Lou.
Yes, sir.
I wished I would have paid attention to this quite a bit better. So I've got my volume profile set to adjust based on whatever's on the screen versus just a session. And so you can see that when we hit R1, we were actually in a volume gap.
Oh yeah, we were.
And it advanced up to a high volume node, consolidated a little bit, and then rushed through the next volume gap to the next high volume node. Based off of these points over here on the left, where we had support, became resistance, became support, became a little consolidation, and then it acted as resistance again, right around there. Yeah. And my 3-minute, this is one of the things I like to pay attention to. Here's yesterday's volume, unbalanced volume levels, and here's today's. Look at how many more buyers on average stepped into the market today.
Well, today was freaking unbelievable.
Yeah. And that's why I'm, the thought of shorting that move up with that many buyers versus sellers. It's also one of the reasons I like to have an average on that jagged line so that I can pay attention to, on average, are the number of buyers versus sellers increasing.
Yeah, every 5 breakout had huge volume.
Yeah. This breakout right here, the buyers broke out. I mean, buyers stepped in hard right there and just now started to wane. You can see a little bit happening inside that consolidation right there, but at this time on a Friday.
For some reason, my other account here is frozen. Not count my screen.
Anyone else see this as like a bull flag potentially?
Oh man, I don't
Yeah,
know
but
how
it's
to
super
grab.
risky. Momentum's
Yeah.
finally dying out. I mean, the 3 minute looks like, it looks like the third wave is still going. It's going to be a fourth wave pullback.
Boy, runaway times like this have me wanting to add that freaking 12 EMA to my chart. Because, I mean, we haven't touched that 25. We haven't touched that 25 since we broke out.
Drawing uptrend support on the 3 minute. Breaking.
What's that?
Drawing uptrend support on the 3 minute. It's
Yeah.
breaking.
This was 16,000, so we'll call it, we'll just round up and call it 190. So 185, 190 point move.
Yeah, if you start your support at 16,044, you get your steep one, and if you start the support at 1600, you've got probably a lot stronger one. I mean, we busted out of a triangle.
Yeah, we did.
I'll be right back, guys. Give me 1 second. I'm back. Ay,
I'll be back. I'm gonna make some food.
All right, man.
that's what I'm doing, eating here.
Nom 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 nom. Couldn't stand it. Grabbed a few more trades. I'm gonna have to post an updated P&L. Nah, I'll just state it in chat versus posting a different picture.
Did you take the flag break there? I'm assuming.
Yeah, I took the flag break for a possible fifth wave up. This looks a lot like the daily. We frequently see these patterns that look the same, right? So we had leg one, leg two, really fantastic leg three, four, and I was playing that fifth leg as a flag break with my profit target, roughly ranging from just below the 100% to the 127, and then there was one in the middle of it. So at this point, I don't know where it's going to go. But from a fifth wave perspective, the fifth wave is in play. Unless we're on a longer time frame and this is just one big freaking leg on the 15-minute. Now that a 5-wave move is over with, unless we make a head and shoulders up here, I've got nothing to expect.
Alright, guys, I think I am done for the day. It is my anniversary weekend, so the wife will kill me if I stay on too long.
Hey, happy
So
anniversary,
I'll,
man.
yeah, appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do any trade anymore either, but
Nah, it's Friday after lunch.
News.
It's pretty
yeah.
done. So I will catch you guys bright and early Monday.
All right, man.
All right, man. Have a good weekend, bro.
You guys too.